Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a blush, bronzer, and highlighter collection video slash kind of like a mini declutter. It depends what kind of mood I'm in today. So in front of me, as you can see, these are all of my blushes, my highlighters, and my bronzers. I don't have a huge collection of these. I would say out of all of them, I'm the biggest fan of highlighter, but I do have some things in here that I know I don't use enough, so I'll probably get rid of some of those things. And there's probably some things in here that are also expired. So if you all are interested in seeing my blush, highlighters, and my bronzers, you should definitely keep on watching. All right, I think I'm gonna go by brand here, and maybe I'll start with like the newest stuff and then go to like the oldest stuff. I don't know, we'll see what thing I'm kind of feeling today. So let's first start with my newest blush. So this blush is my Chanel Fleur de Printemps blush. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not French, I don't speak French, so I'm sorry. And as you can see, here's the blush. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has this beautiful, just like floral print like in here. So it seems like it's been stamped with this like floral pattern. So on this side, we have the blush, and on this side, we have the highlighter. I've used this once already, and it is so gorgeous on the cheeks. As you'll see, I definitely prefer cream blushes and highlighters over powders, but dang, if you're gonna buy a powder, this Chanel blush is beautiful. This is also one of the first products I ever got from Chanel. I got this and a lipstick at the same time, so I'm just like super impressed with both the lipstick and this, and I definitely think I'll be buying more from Chanel in the future. So this is a super nice blush. Next, let's talk about my second newest blush. This is the Chantecaille, what is this called? It's called the Aqua Blush, and this is in the shade Marigold. So this is a cream blush. If I can get this darn thing off, here we go. So this is a cream blush, and it's just in this beautiful like peachy shade. I'll just give you like a little swatch. So it's a very natural sort of color, and it does have a bit of a sheen to it. And it's very creamy, but it's definitely, like the name implies, aqua blush. It's definitely more on the sheer side. So this is something which I think I want to layer with the Chanel. So I think what I would do is put this underneath the Chanel, then put the Chanel blush on top, and I really think that would look really pretty. But if you like a very subtle cream blush, I think this is the way to go. I've used this once and it's really pretty. I just swirled my finger in it to warm up the product and then tapped it on my cheeks. So I am enjoying this. This is really new to my collection, so I am going to keep it, obviously. Let's talk about Charlotte Tilbury next. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand, and this is in the shade Pinkgasm. So if you're not familiar with the Charlotte Tilbury packaging for her cream cheek products, this is what it looks like. You twist the applicator to turn it on or to turn it off, then you squeeze a bit, and then the application comes, the product comes on this little like furry ball thing. So this is a really beautiful blush. I'll give you all a little bit of a swatch. So this blush is just so pink and like glimmery and just dewy and beautiful. The Charlotte Tilbury definitely gives you a lot of shimmer. So if you like shimmer, I'd recommend this. It's a beautiful blush. It's relatively new to my collection as well, so I am going to keep this as well. Let's stay on the Charlotte Tilbury train, even though this is not a blush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I have it in the shade Fair Medium. It's again that same applicator. This stuff is super nice. It looks really dark when you first apply it to your face, and it's kind of scary, but once you blend it out, I feel like it's a really beautiful product. This is just a super nice cream bronzer. I know it says contour, but I use it as a bronzer. I just put it on around my hairline, on my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose. It's just a beautiful product, and it's easy to blend out, and I just really enjoy using it, so I'm going to keep this as well. Let's talk about Glossier next. Yeah, so I'm going to keep my two Glossier cloud paints. I have Dusk, which is this like light nude color. It's really, really pretty, and it goes with a lot of like brighter eye looks that I do. And this is a liquid blush, by the way, if you're not familiar with these. They also have the shade Dawn, which as you can see, I haven't used as much. This is a very bright orange. If you're pale like me, you only need the tiniest, tiniest bit. So I really enjoy these two blushes, even though I use Dusk a lot more than Dawn. So I am gonna keep these. They are a really nice formula. They blend out really nicely with a makeup sponge. So I do like these, I am gonna keep them. And also on the Glossier train, this is a highlighter. This is the Night Shine Highlighter Concentrate. I have this in the shade Pale Pearl, I think is what it's called. This is kind of weird packaging. You take it out and it's a little like doe foot applicator, and normally I dot it on my cheeks and on my nose and above my lip and all the points I like to highlight. This is a super pretty highlighter. Again, I'm gonna swatch because I cannot resist. So this highlighter is just the most beautiful, like pinky champagne kind of color. Look at that. That is so, so pretty. So I love this highlighter. Sadly, they discontinued this in early 2021. I think they discontinued this in January. I'm super upset about it because I really do love this highlighter and I wish more of you all could try it, but sadly it is discontinued. Because it is discontinued and because I really do like it, I am gonna keep it in my collection for now. Okay, let's talk about Fenty. Let's do Fenty next. So I have 4 of the Fenty cream blushes. These are like the Cheeks Out cream blushes. They're in this cute little packaging. It's really small, but I feel like for how often I use these, it's plenty of product. So I have 4 shades. I have 03 Bikini Martini. This one is a bright, bright pink. This is probably my least used shade, but I do really like this. As you can see, which I'll show you a swatch, these do look really pigmented on the finger, but once you shear it out, like look at how easy that shears out on my hand. So like this formula is not intimidating at all, even if you have a really bright shade like this one. So I really do like this formula, so I am gonna keep this one. I'm gonna keep all of them, all these Fenty blushes, blah, blah, blah. But I am gonna keep this one as well because it's a nice like Barbie pink. We have 06 Daiquiri Dip. They're kind of hard to open, I will admit. So this one's like a red color. This one's really cool too. Like look at that pigment like right off the bat, and but then like look at how easily that blends. Look at how easily that blends. That's ridiculous to me. So I like this one as well. It's pretty, I'm keeping it. We have 01 Fuego Flush. This is the only one I have with like a little bit of glimmer in it. I'm not sure if you can see that gold reflect, but this one's really, really pretty. And I just love that gold reflect in it. So that's what it looks like swatched out. I shouldn't swatch everything, but maybe I will. Oh my goodness. So there's Fuego Flush. And last but not least, we have 09 Cool Berry. This is probably the one I use the most just because it's like more of a neutrally kind of shade. This one I would say is like a mauve-y purple. I love this one. This one is so pretty with like cool toned eye looks. Look at that. Look at that. So those are all of my Fenty blushes. I'm keeping all of them. All right, just remove the makeup from my hands. Speaking of Fenty, let's talk about the cream bronzer. This is the second and final bronzer that I own. This is the cream bronzer in the shade 02 Butter Biscuit. I love this bronzer. As you can tell, I've hit pan on this. Before I got this bronzer, I literally never used bronzer. I was scared of it. I thought I was too pale for it. I thought it would look super muddy on me and gross. I can say for a fact, it does not. I feel like cream bronzer, if you're new to bronzing, is definitely the way to go just because it's easier to blend. It's hard to apply too much and not be able to fix your mistake. It's just very goof-proof and forgivable. And so if you're new to bronzing like I was about this time last year, I would recommend this Fenty cream bronzer. It's really, really nice and I just really enjoy it. So I'm obviously going to keep this. Let's talk about this highlighter. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Skin Gloss. This is in the shade Golden Dew. I love this packaging. I feel like it's just really, really nice for plastic packaging. And it has like a little mirror, which I love. And then this is what the product looks like. I feel like Skin Gloss is the perfect name for this because when you put your finger in this, that is what it feels like. It feels like a gloss, and just like applying it onto your face, it feels like a gloss. Look at that. This is a beautiful product and I really like it, and I'm definitely going to keep it. And it's I feel like this is a highlighter that you can either make really subtle, or if you put it on the right places and like if you layer like a powder highlighter over this, ooh, you can really make this intense. So I really, really like this product, and I'm obviously keeping it. I think let's talk about this Pat McGrath highlighter next. So this is the Pat McGrath Chroma Luxe Highlight Cream and Pale Gold 002. I don't like this product. This is like the only Pat McGrath product I've ever tried that I don't like. And it's because it's just so crazy glittery that I never want to wear it. Like, look at that. That's way too glittery for me for a face highlighter. Like, I at least want some base pigment if I'm gonna have glitter. And I feel like this is literally just glitter with no base pigment. So I'm not really a fan of this. Also, I feel like this squeezy tube, it's really easy to squeeze out more than what you wanted to, which is why it looks like I've used a ton of this. I can promise you the most of this that I squeezed out is because I squeezed out too much when I was trying to use this product. And then I was, you know, wasting that extra product that I squeezed out. So I'm not really a fan of this. I have used this recently as like an inner corner highlight, like when I was doing an eye look, and that was pretty, but I'm just not sure if having this in my collection is really gonna serve me any good. So I think I'm gonna declutter this Pat McGrath cream highlighter. I'm just not really that big of a fan of it. Next, let's talk about Kaja. I have this Kaja Cheeky Stamp Blush, and this is in the shade 02 Saucy. The weird thing about this blush is like it has this heart sponge applicator, which I find kind of funny. So the way that I apply this, and as you can see, it's a cushion blush. So the way that I apply this is I take this stamp, I open up the cushion, I, you know, boop, boop, and then I dot it on my cheeks, and then I use a blending sponge to blend it out, just because trying to blend this blush out with this sponge is kind of impossible, just because it's a very stiff, hard sponge. So I don't use this as much as I probably should. Like if you press into it, it's a really pretty blush color. Like, look at that. It's very subtle. I feel like because Kaja is like inspired by K Beauty, I feel like their style of makeup's a bit different than what I go for, but it's a really pretty blush. So I think I'm gonna keep this for now, but if I don't use this enough, I might declutter this in my next declutter. But I do like this. I am going to keep it for now, but it's on probation. It's on the chopping block. If I don't use it enough, it will go eventually. Speaking of Kaja, let's talk about a highlighter from Kaja. This is the Kaja, what's it called? Mochi Glow in 01 Toy Alien. So it's like a cream, I would say this is like a cream to powder kind of highlighter. Like when you press into it, it feels kind of like baked gelée. It looks really pretty and pretty intense on my finger, but like, oh wow. That's prettier than I remember it being. I was thinking that I was going to declutter this, but it is really nice. So this is the Kaja. This is the Dominique Cosmetics. The Kaja definitely has less of a sticky texture, and it's very much like powdery feeling, like a cream to powder. The Dominique Cosmetics definitely feels sticky still. So it's like is more of like a cream gloss kind of highlighter. And I would also say the Kaja is a bit more warm toned, while the Dominique Cosmetics looks a bit more cool toned. So okay, I think I'm gonna keep this Kaja highlighter for now, but again, if I don't use it a lot, it will be on probation. Let's talk about this Anastasia highlighter. This is the Anastasia Liquid Glow. This is in the shade Perla. I love love this highlighter. I think this was the first cream highlighter I had, and I got this, I think sometime about a year ago. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at how beautiful that is on my hand. Oh my goodness. I love this highlighter. This is a true champagne highlighter for someone who's pale like me. This is like the perfect champagne-y goldy highlighter if you are basically a ghost and translucent. So I am definitely going to keep this. I love this highlighter. It's so beautiful on the cheeks and it gives you a ton of product. And I do see this product on sale a lot. So if you are interested in picking it up, I would say wait for a sale. So I'm definitely gonna keep this Anastasia highlighter. This is my Hourglass highlighting palette. This is the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. I love this palette. I am not big, as you know, as you've seen, into powder highlighters, powder blushes, especially not powder bronzers. So this is like my favorite powder highlighter formula. I just think it's so, so beautiful. So I'm gonna swatch these shades for you. If you can find this, I would say, you know, if you can find this somehow, or if you have this in your collection, like use it. Look at those highlighters. I have them swatched right here. They are so, so pretty. So these are like my favorite powder highlighter formula. I really enjoy using this. I especially enjoy using these shades over cream highlighters that I like using. So just to make things a bit more intense, layering these powders over those creams is really beautiful. I will say, I think I'm not going to support Hourglass anymore. Just personally, I mean, you do what you want to do, but it just seems like Hourglass is not making an effort to make their products work for all skin tones when they have had plenty of people tell them that they're interested in that they want to see that from the brand, when they've had plenty of time to respond to that. And it's just really disappointing. And I feel like as consumers, the power that we have is with our dollar. And so even though I love this product and I love the ambient lighting powder as like my setting powder, I just don't think I can in good conscience support Hourglass anymore. So if you all, anyways, that's a little bit of a tangent, but if you all have a dupe for this formula or for their ambient lighting powder formula, please let me know. I'm definitely interested in hearing about that, just because I don't think I'm gonna be able to use Hourglass as much on my channel as I would have wanted to before all this stuff kind of came out. And just because if there's like a more inclusive company that makes a product that's similar or a dupe, like why wouldn't I want to support that? So that's to say, I like this palette. If you see this and you want to support Hourglass, that's your decision. It's a great product. But am I gonna support Hourglass? For now, probably not. In the future, if they do make more of an effort, I think my mind could be swayed. But for now, I'm not supporting the brand. Okay, let's talk about some things I'm probably going to declutter. So I think we're gonna start with this Wet n Wild highlighter. This is in the shade 319B Blossom Glow. This is their Mega Glow highlighting powder. This is a nice highlighter. It's very much a baked gelée formula. So it's like feels powdery. It feels like creamy to the touch, but then once you apply it, it's very powdery. It is beautiful. I just never reach for this anymore because I feel like the Hourglass pink shade is kind of similar. I feel like the Glossier Night Shine is similar, and I just like those formulas better, either for a cream or for a powder. So I think I'm gonna declutter this. It's really old too, so I have a feeling this is expired. When does it say on the back? Does it say on the back? I don't see anything where it says how many months. So I have a feeling this is expired. I have a feeling I need to throw this out. So I think I'm gonna throw out this highlighter just because it's super expired. I don't wanna pass on something like this that's super expired to like my family or my friends or anything like that. On the Wet n Wild train, let's talk about this Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush. This is in the shade 326B Rosé Champagne. This packaging sucks. I think they've changed their packaging, but as you can see, mine's literally being held on by a sticker. So yeah, but this is just a really pretty, like, I think Rosé Champagne's a good name because if you swatch this, it just feels like, it just looks like a rosé kind of color, like a rose color with a bit of like golden reflect to it. So like Rosé Champagne is a good name for it. I'll swatch it here. This is just too subtle for what I like nowadays. That's number one. I just don't go for blushes that are this subtle. And again, this is really old. Like I've had this for a while. I have a feeling the packaging isn't the same anymore. And I'm looking on the back. I don't see anything that says like an expiration date, but this is definitely expired. And I feel proud of myself that I did hit a little bit of pan in here. So if you see that pan, I did that, but I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna throw this out as well. It is just too old to pass on, and I never use this anymore. Okay, let's talk about Kiko Milano. This is the Metal Fusion Blush in shade 05. I don't think it has a name, like the shade doesn't have a name. This is what it looks like. It's just this really pretty corally blush. It's really, really intense. Like look at that on my finger, and I'll swatch it out. And it's pretty intense, but it does sheer out a bit. So this blush I actually got when I was in Italy back in summer of 2019. And so I got this in Italy when I was on vacation visiting my family in Sicily. And I really like this blush. It's really pretty. I just feel like because of the shade of it, because of the color, it's definitely a spring summer blush. Like I would not wear this in fall and winter at all just because of how corally and bright it is. I don't use this enough. I really need to use this more. I wish I did use this more. I think I'm gonna keep it for now. And if I don't use it in the spring and summer of this year, I know I will never ever use it and I'll get rid of it then. But it is a really pretty blush. I mean, look at that corally part of my hand. Ooh, it's so pretty. And I like the formula a lot, and I feel like corally cheeks are really cute in the spring and summer. And it just reminds me of being in Italy and good memories and visiting my family and all of that. So I think I'm gonna keep this one for now. Let's talk about these. These are the Cover FX, what are they called? Monochromatic blush duos. I have Pink Dahlia and Soft Peach. So Pink Dahlia, as you can assume, is very pink. And Soft Peach, as you can assume, is pretty peachy. This is actually kind of more of like a neutral color. So when these blushes first came out, I was obsessed with them. I use these basically every single day. I love them so much. But this was before I discovered cream blushes. And now that I know cream blushes more and like am able to work with that formula and love that formula so much more than most powder blush formulas, I never ever use these anymore. Like I'll swatch them out just so I can see what they look like and just so I know really what I want to do. So each blush has a matte and a shimmery side. And then let me swatch the Pink Dahlia color as well, just so I can know if I do decide to get rid of these, like what am I actually getting rid of. So that's what they look like on my hand. They're pretty, but I never use these. I found that the matte side was really, really pigmented and you had to be really careful not to apply too much. Like I'm trying to blend this out on my hand. It's not blending out the easiest. And then what about that shimmer part? Does that blend? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I like this blush formula, but now that I use cream blushes, I like those so much more. And I know that if I keep these, I'm never going to use them. So I think I'm going to give them to a better home. I bet my mom would really like these. So I think I'm going to give these to my mom. I think she'll enjoy these more than I do. So I'm going to get rid of these. I'm kind of sad about it, but I just never, ever, ever use these products anymore. And it's kind of sad. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I saved these for last because I'm keeping all of them. But these are my Rituel de Fille cream highlighters and cream blushes. So I'm keeping every single one of these. I am not going to swatch these because we'd literally be here all day. But I'm just going to show you them, tell you what I think of them, etc. So let's start with the blushes. So this is the Color Nectar Pigment Balm in Ladybug. This is what it looks like. I feel like I have to swatch this one just because it looks so different on the finger than it does in the pan. Like, see, look at that. Look at how juicy that is. So this was a limited edition color that they released. It's no longer available, sadly. But this blush formula, this cream blush formula is so beautiful. Like, look at that on my hand. Oh my gosh. I love, love, love this formula. So I am keeping this. Obviously, I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with all my Ritual de Fille products. So I love this shade. It just gives you the most beautiful, rosy, natural flush. Another color, Nectar Pigment Balm. This is in the shade Wasp. I got this because it's a yellow blush, and that intrigued me. So this is what it looks like on my finger. Again, if you swatch this out, it's a lot more sheer than you would expect. You can really sheer it out. Like, look at that. So this is a beautiful blush. What I like to use this with is I use this product as well as the Glossier Dawn Cloud Paint. So I'll put a little bit of this and layer that yellow on top of it. And it just looks so, so beautiful. I love the yellow blush trend. This was actually the first product I ever bought from Ritual de Fille, just because this was like this was the only yellow blush I really knew of that I was interested in trying. So I was like, I'll try it from the brand. We'll see how I like the brand. We'll see what happens. And then it turns out I got obsessed, hence all these products. So I love this. It's a great blush, and I'm definitely keeping it, obviously. All right, and let's talk about the last blush I have from Ritual de Fille. This is Lust, in the shade Lust. This is the Inner Cream Glow Pigment. This is a bit of a different formula. It's not as waxy as the other one is, but I mean, look at how intense that looks on my finger. But then when you blend it out, it's just so pretty. Oh my gosh. I feel like this could be a good like bronzer too, maybe. I mean, it is like a pretty like dark rosy brown, but if you want to use this formula, maybe not this shade, but if you want to use this formula as a cream bronzer, that could be really pretty as well. So I love this. I use this all the time. I'm obviously keeping it. Let's talk about these two little samples that I have. I have these little highlighters in Ghost Light and Anthelon, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. So Ghost Light is very much like a purple, like a iridescent purple. It's really, really pretty. Oh my gosh. I said I wasn't gonna swatch these, and then I'm now swatching all of them. Of course I am. And I have Anthelon, I don't know. I'm bad at pronouncing stuff. And this is very much like an iridescent gold, like peachy gold. It's really, really pretty. I love these samples, so I'm obviously keeping it. And then these are all my Ritual de Fille highlighters. As you can see, I have 8 of them. So let's just start over here. This is Stellaris, the Rare Light Cream Luminizer. So this is what it looks like. It's just like this goldy yellow. I'll swatch it on my finger. That's what it looks like. And then I'll swatch it on my hand. So that's what it looks like. It's just a beautiful cream highlight. There's no glitter in this formula. So if you like highlighters without glitter, go for the Rare Light Cream Luminizers. I love this, it's so pretty. Next one, we have the Alchemist Aurum Highlight Intensifier. This one was limited edition. I don't think they sell this anymore. So it looks like this on the finger. And then I'll show you 2 ways to use it. So you can use it by itself as a highlighter, like that, but it's also meant to be a topper. So let's say I top off Stellaris with it. Like, it just makes it more intense and like glittery and shimmery. Look at that. So this, I would say the Rare Light Cream Luminizers have more of like a balmy texture. This is very much like wet. Like, it feels very wet to the touch. So these don't really dry down, this formula, but it doesn't like stay super, super sticky either, if that makes sense. I really like using this as a highlighter topper. I also like using it by itself, so it's really pretty. Next, we have Solaris. This is my only other Rare Light Cream Luminizer. So it's that formula that has the no glimmer particles. So this is just like a pink iridescent-y kind of shade. If you can see what that looks like on my hand and on my finger. This is just really pretty. I love using it. I love all these products. You get the drill. This next one is the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier. So the Alchemist Aurum is very warm toned. This one is very cool toned, as you can see. So I'll swatch it out again on my hand so you can see what it looks like. Like, look at how intensely cool toned and beautiful that is. And then let's say I put it over Solaris. Like, what does that look like? Like, see, look at how intense that is. It's so, so pretty. I love this. I'm obviously keeping it. And next we have the Sorcerer Metamorphic Highlighter. So these are all metamorphic highlighters. So these are very much more similar to that topper formula, except these are meant to be worn by themselves. So it's very metallic, very like glittery, shimmery, all that. So this is like a very cool toned, just like neutrally silvery leaning kind of highlighter. It's really pretty. And next we have the Siren Metamorphic Highlighter. This one is like a gold sort of highlighter, as you can see right there. It's just like a very pretty gold shade. I really like this as well. All right, well, I have a ton of glitter on my hands because of these highlighters, so I'm sorry about that. I have two more to show you. These are both limited edition, so they're not available anymore. This is the Dream Metamorphic Highlighter. This one's just a really beautiful pink. I like using this as a blush topper. It's just like a really pretty pink. And then this is the Chimera, I don't know how to pronounce this, Metamorphic Highlighter. This one is just the most beautiful green. It's really unique. This is like my favorite one, just because if I'm wearing like a green or blue eye look, I always want to put this on my cheeks. So I love these. They're so, so pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm like a Ritual de Fille stan. Like, if I ever get popular enough to be on a PR list, I would want to be on Ritual de Fille's PR list. Like, give me all of the cream products. I've never tried any of their eye products, so I'm kind of curious about those. I'm not sure if I would like them, but their cheek products are thebomb.com. I would love to own every single shade of everything. Overall, what did I declutter? I only decluttered 5 things, which I was expecting. I love my blush and highlighter collection. I'm throwing out the Wet n Wild stuff just because they're really old. So this blush and this highlighter, this Pat McGrath cream highlighter, I think I'm gonna give to a friend. And these Cover FX blush duos, I think I'm gonna end up giving to either my mom or a friend. So overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I said I wasn't gonna swatch anything. I guess I'm a liar because I swatched almost everything. Oops, I'm sorry. I just love glimmery, beautiful highlighters and glowy blushes and all of that. So I can't really help myself, but that's okay. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you like declutters, please give this video a thumbs up or let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, I would love you to subscribe to my channel because I post lots of beauty content, not only declutters, but all sorts of beauty content, tag videos, tutorials, all that fun stuff, reviews. And with that, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. I will see you in my next video. Bye.